Okay, we're at the prestigious University of Cape Town Law School, which is part of the middle campus, in a building known as the Kramer Building. It's the same law school that I dropped out of during campus unrest back in 1987, shortly before I became involved in the anti-apartheid movement. The reason we're here is because Cheadle, Hilton Cheadle, while he was the director of a labor brokerage firm, was also delivering lectures at this institution on labor law. After several complaints and a bit of an expose, he was shifted over to a post in public law, and then later moved into early retirement after complaints to Max Price and the Chancellor. This is the Wilfred and Julius Kramer School of Law building. A building in which Hilton Cheadle would have had his office at the same time that he had several offices, occupying a directorship in the labor brokerage concern at the same time that he held a directorship in a law firm, at the same time that he was presiding over a case involving his business partners. This is the Dean's office. Hi, I'm shooting a documentary about apartheid history. I'm a law school dropout, and I'm very interested in one of your former associates, a professor by the name of Hilton Cheadle, specifically his trashing of the Truth and Reconciliation Commission report during proceedings and his corrupt activities as a labor broker. So I'd very much like to ask the Dean some questions regarding the circumstances to his early retirement. I understand that he's been moved into early retirement by Max Price.
Okay, the Dean is
in the meeting.
Yeah.
This looks like a common room, Faculty of Law at UCT. I'm shooting a documentary on some apartheid history. Do you have a minute? It's about the trashing of the Truth and Reconciliation report by one of your professors who's apparently been pushed into early retirement. Do you know of a man by the name of Michael Hilton Cheadle? You know of him? Right. Did you know that he was a director of a labor brokerage and human resources firm at the same time that he was adjudicating cases at Labour Court? You don't know the ins?
Honestly, I don't know.
You don't know anything, right?
I don't.
But if you were a dominatrix at the same time that you were in line for a priesthood at the Catholic Church, you probably have a conflict of interest, right?
I think there are issues in the labor broking scenario that I just, I don't want to comment on.
About corruption at the court. Without having full fact before you.
Absolutely.
You're welcome to watch my channel and to click meetalternatives.com. You're welcome to follow the proceedings. I'm David Robert Lewis. Yeah. Thank you so much. I dropped out of this law school because of campus unrest in 1987. We got invaded and beaten up by the police. It just seemed impossible. Thank you. Seeing a documentary about apartheid.
Okay.
But I was wondering if you're involved in law, if you could perhaps answer just a question.
Okay.
Would you consider it a conflict of interest to be a labor broker, like a shareholder or a director of a human resources company involved in labor brokerage, and to be adjudicating a case at Labour Court at the same time? You don't.
I'm not sure.
You wouldn't know.
What do you think?
Okay, here's another one.
So you are adjudicating a matter, but you yourself are interested.
If you
involved in
adjudicate,
this
okay,
kind of
if
work
you're
anyway.
adjudicating a matter involving your business partner, where you yourself have shares in a company involved in labor brokerage and human resources that's outsourcing labor, that's part of the same company that you're providing a total solution labor management. Would that be
There's definitely a conflict of interest.
definitely a conflict of interest, right?
Yeah.
And here's just
I think
another.
you should recuse yourself then.
I would recuse myself, right? Here's just another question. The use of forged documents in any court proceedings would be considered illegal. And if you expose the forged documents in a corruption case and the prosecutor failed to prosecute, what would your solution be?
So you failed, so people now know that the document's not.
We all know that there's forged documents.
Yeah.
You go to there's fraud, right?
Yeah.
You go to a police station, you open up
And the prosecutor just fails to open the
says
case.
no. Well, the prosecutor closes the case because issues a waiver of interest in the case. What would you think?
I mean, at first you think, okay, there's something suspicious going on, but perhaps he had reasons. Perhaps in the Criminal Procedure Act
It could be something to do with the fact that the person who used the forged documents is also sitting on the bench, right?
possibly, and then we need somebody to take that up further, and make the connection and
You
find
could
out.
make that
but-
somehow make that connection.
Yeah,
I think also that you can't force someone to prosecute.
yeah.
Right.
So if you want to take the matter further, you could always vote the option of private prosecution.
Right.
Where you just furnish security and then prosecute yourself.
Right.
If you can get a certificate from them.
That they would have to provide a nollie prosecute certificate in order for that to
Yeah.
occur. That's right.
There are other methods that you can use if the MPA thinks
Posse comitatus, citizens arrest,
Yeah.
something like that, gathering.
But yeah, I think it would be important to find out why they want to prosecute, if they could give you reasons.
The reason seems to be that the person who is being prosecuted was sitting on the bench.
Oh, then yes, that seems a bit harsh.
They're above the law, right?
No
No,
one's
no one's above the law.
Isn't that what the judgment of the Constitutional Court over the last week or so is all about?
That no one is above the law.
Yeah,
Absolutely.
President's not
Even
above.
the president,
Even the
in his
president,
conduct, no one is above the law.
and the president was very surprised to find this out. He was totally surprised and shocked. 'Cause it wasn't. We thought we had a different legal system, right?
Yeah.
Fantastic. And just to say, a vox pops on the. It's like the issue that's always troubling me is we don't have a jury. We've got lay assessors, right? When would lay assessment be needed in a case?
What do you mean by lay assessment?
People
Where
to assist the
the
judge on
has-
issues
the
of.
judge has assessors.
Well, the problem of issues of fact and issues of law aren't necessarily the same, right?
Yes.
You can't pass a law to make the planet spin in another opposite direction, but you could make a legal fiction that would cause a lot of trouble.
So that's where the assessors come in. They're looking at issues of fact.
Of fact, usually.
Right? And I think they're used. I mean, I'm not sure what the practice is and how often they're used, but I mean, certainly they are available to judges to use.
Right, and you would think that in a matter affecting the Truth Commission and its final report that would probably be de rigueur. Requirement, judge might get some strange ideas
If the judge gets strange ideas,
that apartheid never happened.
that's a bit disturbing. But I think, in terms of that, in terms of the way you're looking into the jury system, I think the assessors are a far better option
Right.
than the jury.
Right. I'm going to leave you now because I've got to be somewhere. But just to fill you in, I'm stuck with a case involving the TRC report where the judge reckoned apartheid was just a fantasy. I concocted. I made it up, right?
Really?
How?
Judgment says I've got a vendetta against a company for its failure to come clean at TRC, and therefore I'm not a credible witness.
That I think is foolish.
Delusional, right?
Delusional.
How would you base a system of ethics on a fantasy? And how could you base a system of right and wrong based on it's wrong to oppose race segregation in the newsroom, for instance? They're all very leading questions.
Yeah.
I'm going to squeeze. Have fun.
Thank you.
Okay, here we have the Twin Mill building. It's the building that houses the Labour Court of South Africa. This is the Labour Court where Labour broker, a man by the name of Halton Cheadle, who turned out was not simply a director of a law firm with an account whose client was Media 24, the other party. But after investigation, it turned out that Halton Cheadle was a director and shareholder of a Labour brokerage firm, and thus adjudicating a case involving his business partners. A Labour broker, director and shareholder of the Resolve Group of companies, adjudicated a case involving his business partners and client, Media 24. The judgment handed down in my absence, in which I was not represented by an attorney, in a decision which trashes the final report of the Truth and Reconciliation Commission of South Africa.